Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Spark. So this month I'm working with the Hare as my inspiration, and this piece I want to work on today is inspired by Isobel Gowdie, who was a Scottish woman tried as a witch and very famous because of the documentation about her testimony and the witch trials. This is backwards. I printed this backwards in case I wanted to do a transfer with it, but one of her quotes is, "I shall go into a hare with sorrow and such and mickle care, and I shall go into the devil in the devil's name, aye, while I come home again." And granted, that's old Scots, and forgive my pronunciations, but she was talking about shape-shifting into a hare. And hares have long been associated with witches, as a witch's familiar. I talked about that in the folklore episode that started out this month. So I had found this image. I liked the windsweptness of it. I liked the hint of a really kind of the hills in the background, made me think of the Highlands of Scotland. Granted, this scarf would be better if I was maybe going to do like a tartan patterning over it. But then in my newly organized magazine images, I found her. So yeah, it's more contemporary that she's wearing a coat, but again, we've got that same hint of landscape, and there is a plaid reference. So that for me hits that reference to Scotland. So she's going to be my image stand-in. So I'm not using her. I printed out an old engraving, woodcut, of witches, flying on the back of a goat, meeting with the devil. So I wanted that to reference the trials. I printed out a hare, and I printed out a mirror image as well because I just loved the pose that this hare is in and thought that would be an amazing kind of symmetrical bookend on either side of the spread. Like, I'm really excited about that. I found a naked woman, which will transfer, so she'll go that way. And this also, to me, is kind of the bridge between the clothed woman and transforming and the hare. So I think, like, she's going to go there, but she'll face the other direction. I've got kind of a loose plan in my head. I'm going to cut these out so that they don't have all that green background. So they're going to be kind of sentinels right here. And they're going to overlap on this image that'll be here. Hoping that gives me a nice rectangle at the bottom, because I would love to transfer in or print this first quote by Isobel Gowdie. I had printed out some other flowers, some heather and some primrose and things like that that are very much of the Scottish Highlands. I had another hare that I could use as a transfer technique, but I think I'll save that for another day because this is going to give me plenty to work with. I'm going to go ahead and just work through this and probably put on some music for myself, have that kind of vibe in the studio today, but I wanted to give you that layout before I got started. And before I get started, let me mention that I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and all those YouTube things that help me out and that help show me that you're out there. So I welcome comments. Watch through and see how this page transforms, but go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up while I get started. So I decided to put her in as a gesso transfer, so that's going to take at least 12 hours before I can take the paper off that. So I'm going to go ahead and work on a different page. I used the gesso kind of to blur the edges of the collage that was put in. I will have room for my text block down here, and I just used some bubble wrap to give some kind of organic texture to this gesso behind the hare's necks. So there's going to be color that comes in. I'm going to pull in some of the blues and the grays and do that as my palette. I might put in some olivey greens down here just because there is a little bit of green halo around these images. And most of the major action in my woodcut kind of got blocked out, but we do still have this witch on the back of a goat. So that works for me because I know the intention and the symbolism of that piece, even if the main figures are covered over. So for right now, we're just going to pause here and we'll come back in probably tomorrow to finish this out. So I'm pretty happy with how this page turned out. I was really enjoying the process and the materials of using the water-soluble crayons. I was using both Faber-Castell Gelatos as well as Ranger Ink Tim Holtz Distress crayons. And so that gave me, you know, the texture of the gesso picked up different marks. The paper fuzz left from the transfer in the gesso, picked up different marks. And it gave me a chance to kind of blend the hairs in down here. There's definitely like it's almost like ground and then water and sky, partially because we've got this beach reference behind her. So I don't usually have things be symmetrical like it is with the two hairs, or to have these kind of layers, almost like strata in geology. Down here on this piece, I am going to print out those lines of text from Isobel Gowdie's Confession. I shall go thee into a Hare, but I want to size it so it fits into this little piece of kind of earthy paper. I am going to glue it on so that it just breaks the frame a little bit here, and I might do a fine line edge, probably in dark brown. So let's go get that printed out. That'll be the final touch. I probably won't come back on to speak to you again, but I will say one more time, like the channel, give this video a thumbs up. I would love to see you here for future episodes of Weekly Spark. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what you think about my Hare-inspired Isobel Gowdie mixed media page.